Can you survive a super flat world on survival Minecraft? Interesting question. I had to research a lot for the answer, being a die-hard 1.7.10 fan myself, back when there were almost never chests in any village, and if there were, you were lucky to find anything special in them. For creative worlds, Superflat seems so preferred because the terrain is so straightforward for the given and typical creative needs. But why not survival? For people who condition their environment to a deeper degree, this terrain seems perfect for building. But could you survive it? And if you can, how much of the Minecraft technology tree is available to us? And what blocks are unobtainable, no matter what? Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
Why?
The Minecraft Superflat world type is nothing but 3 layers of dirt and 1 layer of bedrock. The surface of the world is on the Y4 coordinate. While there are customizable variations and other presets, this is the default, and this is the version we will analyze. When you spawn, for the first moment you will likely see nothing but grass in every direction, and maybe 1 or 2 villages far off in the barely visible distance. Within the next 10 seconds, you will probably experience something unique to the Superflat variant of Minecraft, in which dozens and dozens of slimes suddenly start spawning in very particular areas. Slimes spawn in slime chunks at or below layer 40. Because most Minecraft terrain generation has no valleys that dip that low, seeing them spawn in normal terrain generation can be a rare phenomenon. But because Superflat world during the day has absolutely no caves, ravines, or dark spots of any kind, save for a couple of house designs in villages with attics absent a torch, the game has nothing to spawn but slimes. And boy oh boy do they spawn. Slimes aside, we will find that passive mobs spawn regularly. But since punching them takes forever, we're going to need some materials for tools. The key asset to surviving in this climate are going to be the villages. There are lots of them, and it made myself wonder, is this how many villages that there are in normal terrain? Does the normal terrain obstruction make that much of a difference in our judgment as to the appearance of village frequency? The answer is yes and no. There are more villages in Superflat than default, but only because Superflat is one gigantic plains biome, whereas in Minecraft default, villages do not spawn in every single biome. So if villages spawned in every single biome in Minecraft, the village rate between default and Superflat might be the same. There are 3 main sources for resources in Superflat: hostile/passive mobs, villagers/villages, and the Nether dimension. In my research, I found a really important picture that illuminates the data on villager trading very effectively. Here we see every villager profession and every level of trading, in order to determine what Minecraft items are available to us. It seems to cover quite a wide range of items. But is everything in the overworld available to us on this list? Well, coal is unavailable, as the villagers only buy it as opposed to selling. But village houses are made up of wood blocks, which can be made into charcoal. Charcoal simulates every function of coal except for the coal block. We also seem to be missing all the special stone variants. Cobblestone is missing as well, but that is a plentiful element in village buildings, so not a problem. It seems that the village trading item list is largely based off of making practical items available, whereas a large portion of cosmetic blocks seem unavailable to us. In 1.7.10, there are no trees included in the village on Superflat terrain, so I thought the wandering trader would be crucial in this. As it turns out, 1.15 villages have a sparse amount of oak trees, and 1 is all you need to get started on a wood supply. I decided to give it a shot. I launched Minecraft, set the game mode to survival, the world type to Superflat, and I created the world. Right away, slimes. Then I saw a village nearby, absolutely relieved to see that they had added trees to the village trade since 1.7. While I was punching trees, checking villager trades, and exploring the first village, something incredible happened. The iron golem was walking near a slime chunk. The slimes were spawning at such an incredible rate, they managed to kill the iron golem in minutes. I thought I was going to have a hard time coming across iron, It turns out that I could use the slimes to kill the golem and take the dropped iron. It wasn't the fastest process, but it was more good news. The experiment almost ended prematurely, as I ended up fighting a giant slime with just my hands and hadn't gotten used to the rhythm of his movement yet. Luckily, I dispatched him just as I was one hit away from death. I realized that stealing all the crops and trading them back to the villagers in each village would be one of my quickest ways to get emeralds, so I started ransacking right away. I also realized it would be important to find a saddle trade as quick as I could, as there were horses in some of the villages, and taming one would give me a much faster method of traveling village to village. I was blown away to find things like diamonds and obsidian in the village chests. This was not something that was in 1.7. This would make getting to the Nether easier, as opposed to collecting lava blocks from various blacksmiths and placing and dousing them with water. As I eventually came across a village I had already been to before, I decided to start moving in a single direction with the Z-axis, further and further from spawn, in order to prevent running into the same village again. I stripped the villages of their trees, crops, and occasionally stayed long enough and brought down enough huge slimes to the iron golem to defeat it. But what I was really looking for was the saddle trade. I became increasingly concerned with how I would eventually reach the Nether. My options as I saw it were to find a piece of gravel in a village, or trade the wandering villager for sand. In 1.7, village pathways were gravel, but at some point they got rid of it completely. I could not find a single piece of gravel in any village that I explored. I concluded that I must wait for the wandering villager to give me sand so that I could craft TNT and light the portal that way. Eventually, I managed to find a saddle trade, and I found a nice brown horse with white field. Village ransacking, resource gathering, and slime evasion all became much quicker. Eventually, I became rich enough in emeralds that I could handle a sizable amount of villager trades. Finally, 10,000 blocks away from spawn, I chose a village to settle in. But I had a problem. I still hadn't found a means of combustion to light the portal, so I AFK'd outside of the village and waited until I could hear the wandering villager arrive. This took several hours, and when he did arrive, no sand trade. I was playing stupidly. Eventually I got my head back on straight and considered other options. Eventually I found a video showing you could light a portal with just lava blocks and wood planks. I tested it for myself on another world to determine its validity in the current Minecraft version. Boom! I'm in the Nether, on Survival Superflat. I box the portal with the little cobblestone I have, and immediately get the basic materials immediately available to you in the Nether. Netherrack, soul sand, nether quartz, and magma blocks. I realized that I chose a dumb place to set and light my portal in order to reach a nether fortress. I had to get back to X0, which was 300 blocks away. It ended up not being a huge problem, and I ran into a lot of luck, never getting targeted by a ghast. I bridge across a lava lake, mine through an obnoxious amount of netherrack, and 2 iron pickaxes later, I see a nether fortress. It had been a long time since I'd visited a nether fortress so ill-equipped. I had iron armor on low durability, 1 golden apple, and no bow or arrows to speak of. Making a bow was easy enough, but arrows would require building a mob grinder or wasting more of your armor durability at night hunting skeletons than was worth. I was also not used to this post 1.9 combat system. It sucks. Even so, blazes were tough, wither skeletons were easier, and I looted the fortress with ease, getting all the other items available in the Nether, with the exception of the wither skeleton skull. And then I escaped. From there, it seemed like the next step would be to identify and half-slab the slime chunks surrounding my new home and bring peace upon the land. Grow the village, build more buildings, plan a huge base. But as this was only an experiment, I decided that this was the end, and we had explored just about everything that you could explore. Among the many things you can do in Superflat that I did not do, there was many. Can you build a mob grinder? Yes. Can you go underground to mine materials? No. Can you build an iron golem farm? Yes. But you will have to completely eliminate any villages in the area that you build it. Can you build a gold farm in the Nether? Yes, but with extreme difficulty. Ender pearls are an advanced villager trade. Endermen are hard to come by at night in the overworld, so getting to the nether ceiling on an individual basis will cost an item that will remain very rare in Superflat. So you'll have to spawn-proof the nether itself, or eat the cost of going to the nether ceiling each time. Can we build an enchantment table? Yes. A surrounding library? Yes. Every type of wood? Yes, with difficulty, as you'll have to be visited by the wandering villager many times to collect every sapling trade. So it seems like most of the normal aspects of Minecraft are here to utilize. But what is unavailable to us? Most obviously, the end is completely unavailable to us. That is the largest detriment to playing a Superflat world. So, no abundance of ender pearls, no ender dragon, no end stone, no end cities, no shulkers, no elytra, no end city loot. There are also certain overworld items that are unavailable. Sugarcane, one of the most farmable resources that we can get emeralds for, is nowhere to be seen. This is a hit and a half for brewing, leaving all potions involving sugar and fermented spider eye unavailable to us. According to some pages, rabbits spawn in the plains biome, and according to others, they do not. In my entire journey, I don't recall seeing one, so rabbit's foot may or may not be available. With dragon's breath being unavailable as well, brewing seems to be an abysmal subject in Superflat. What about the Totem of Undying? Well, it's possible, but more difficult. Patrols spawn at night, and you have to kill enough patrol leaders to get your bad omen high enough for raids to come to 5th waves, which is when evokers join the attack. TNT is possible, but extraordinarily difficult, as sand is only available as a rare trade from the wandering villager, and as we already discovered, after hours of waiting, I couldn't get a sand trade. Redstone is also extremely expensive and rare, as our only way of obtaining it is an emerald-heavy trade from the cleric villager. So while we could go on forever about the availability and unavailability of all the items and blocks in Minecraft when playing Superflat, it's safe to say that a sizable bulk of Minecraft's items and blocks are extremely difficult to obtain or outright impossible. So, could you survive in the Superflat world type in Minecraft? Yes. Could you thrive? Not really. While the infinite flat terrain of Superflat gives great possibilities in terms of building, your building and item lists will be in a permanent purgatory of incompletion. So will I return to Superflat survival and continue to play this world that I started? Maybe. But there are probably more exciting and challenging ways to play the game, and we've largely explored Superflat's possibilities to a reasonable extent, so we will put it on the shelf for now. Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Have you ever considered financially supporting someone for the most ridiculous reason ever? I place down blocks in a block game. And if you're inspired by what I do, you can support me through Patreon. Just a couple bucks a month gives you access to my Discord, your name in the credits, and helps me immensely. If you're in the giving spirit, you can leave a permanent footprint into my videos by throwing coins into my jar. Regardless, thank you everyone for the support, whether that's through Patreon, in the comments, or viewing. See you next time.